how I did it. Yeah, spend the whole half, had a blast. Can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain, can I kick it? Just to flex, I'm winning. Can I?
Hey, could count on my power and look at my dogs from. It was way back then, you could claim what you saw, but you weren't with us. The higher the climb, the harder the fall, but how did you get up? I done got rich and went broke, then got rich again, just a little hiccup. I done been ballin' this pickup. Remember me being so bummy and being so hungry, I had to eat gristle. Ay, how did the little go miss? Ay, her she was magic, she mixed. Ay, met her at one of the functions, we caught a little rhythm, she caught up a friend, they kissed and we dipped it, and that's how we kicked it.
Let me explain what I did. Can I kick it? Hold on. Yeah, I got some rings and a range. Can I kick it? Yeah. Don't ask me a thing. How I got her, how I did it. Yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast. Can I kick it? Even with a sprain, pain. Can I kick it? Just to flex, I went and bought a chain. Can I kick it? Things ain't been the same. Things have changed. Can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked. Can I? Before I went live, they ain't know what I was. Ain't no one alive that could do what I does. Need a light here just to catch my buzz. Need Sprite here just to catch my cup. Now they don't really talk about us. Now they don't really talk about love. Honestly, they ain't never seen too much. What's love to a guy with a bag?
There are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
He was brought down by
these two rivals played two of the better games in the NFL a season ago. You remember Week 17, it was Dre Greenlaw stopping Jacob Hollister at the 1 to preserve a 26-21 49er win. And that wound up both winning them the NFC West and earning them the #1 seed.
They set up the screen to Penny. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
A gain of a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here comes Pettis on the return. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
32-yard line.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at about the 32.
Off play action, he'll throw to start the drive.
They'll roll him out right. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And out across midfield down to the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Here we go. Like 80.
They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Raheem Mostert.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play. So now 3rd down coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
Need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
At the 10-yard line.
From the 10, 1st and goal.
Garoppolo now. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for only a couple.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll run with Mostert.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Is good.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And 4.
I don't want to seem absurd, but that boy's a gangster. Focusing on me with some Tel Aviv.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, a give to Penny. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
34-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
And the 49er first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A play fake from Mostert. Now Garoppolo. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for the rookie Brandon Ayuk, but now it's 3rd down.
I'm not sure that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Looking for Ayuk, and he's got him. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
At their own 5.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin them inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they've been seeking.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
Penny, the ball carrier.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. Penny hit, and the ball is jarred free. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Loss of 2.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
14.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. Pass slipped. There he goes, right side. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense. And the end result, they end up gaining 6 points.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Rashad Penny on the return. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Wilson airing it out for Olsen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and he will take it out to the 25-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Play action, Garoppolo. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
A lot of times, just that first read that you have, maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Space to maneuver at the 40. And able to haul it in is Kittle. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
1st down.
Here we go. By 20.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. This one complete to Coleman. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Tevin Coleman.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He connected on his first, this from 41. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go.
makes the score.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and the half will begin with a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll run here with Balaj. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He was on the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Again, it's Balaj. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
It's a gain of a yard.
Good tackle there by Jaron Reed, the former 2nd-round pick out of Alabama, and that's why he was drafted. But he's really shown an excellent ability to rush the passer as well.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
First down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's a toss play right to Mostert. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Back at the 21-yard line.
Second and 14. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Seventh play in this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's
Here's Tevin Coleman, now in his second year with the Niners. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gold is able to put it through, and that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson escaping the pressure right. And this one is incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
It's 2nd down and 10.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 miles.
They go play action with Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They run it with Balaj. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here we go. Hey, come on, come on, come on.
Here's Mostert. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Touchdown.
Raheem Mostert, his third touchdown now on the year. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Niners.
The kick is
And
good.
his kick is good.
Makes the score Niners 23, Seahawks nothing. Robbie Gould.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
Now they go screen, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here we go on 4th with Wilson. That's to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. That one good for 10 yards. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Again, Wilson. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Wilson
picked off at the 45. Charles, there's something special about one of those big D linemen bringing it in. Off the tip there, really nice coordination.
Very much so, and I think what we've seen, and I'm going to put it in about the last 5 years, maybe a little bit longer, coaches placing a bigger emphasis on ball drills, even for defensive linemen, because possession is so key. When you got a chance to take one away, you want people comfortable with the football, and it paid off there.
Number
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
He's tackled.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown.
Samuel.
Deebo Samuel, his second touchdown on the season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Is good.
And it's up and good.
Score, Niners 30, Seahawks nothing.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
First and 10.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. That's good for 28 yards. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Josh Gordon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Wilson will throw again. Flush to his right. And he'll get in, and they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. So the signal caller doing it himself there on the 2-point try.
You got to like that. We always talk about the ball staying in the hands of the best players, but most of the time you want to get it to a back, pitch it to a wide receiver. In this case, the quarterback did it himself.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he's going to be out of bounds across the 50. Great return.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
Now Balaj. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And they look to finish strong in this fourth quarter. And this is a unit that certainly has turned things around from a week ago. Just a much more productive all-around ball game.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
It's a pickup.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
31-yard line.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert.
And some room to roam now. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Niners 39, Seahawks 8.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
Fielded near the back of the end zone.
And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Flushed out right. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
intended for.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the fourth quarter.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's get it. Here we go. 21. Here we go. 54. Watch QB go.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Formation for the 49ers.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, we just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Here we go. 21.
Balaj. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Today's final score.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points.